Alrighty, welcome to part 2 of my Vindictus tip series where I give 10 more tips for newer players. The previous video's tips were rather simplistic and very general, but this time around there will be more information given for each tip as each topic will require a bit more of an explanation. With that in mind, this video will be longer, but enough wasting time, let's jump right in. Since the last video ended on transformations, I thought I should make this first tip and continue the topic, but we have 3 subtopics to go over. For starters, let's look at what happens when you transform. Upon activating the skill, a real-time cutscene of your character transforming will play out. You are completely invincible during this time, as well as a few seconds after. I should note that this invincibility time can be used to cheese through boss moves. On top of that, your HP is completely refilled and your base stats are increased for the duration of the transformation. A second stat boost and HP refill can be done once you unlock your second stage transformation at level 90. And yes, you're invincible during the second stage scene as well. Aside from these changes, your weapon range is also increased and you will no longer experience hit drag, which is the slowdown you feel when your weapon cuts through an enemy's body. Now let's look at the conditions for being able to transform. If you mouse over your transformation skill, you will see a number out of 300 listed at the bottom of the skill description. It costs 100 points to transform, so logically speaking, if you have 300 out of 300, you can transform 3 times. Being at 150 out of 300 means you only have 1 transformation available. You can see the number of transformation charges you have available to you by binding your transformation skill to the hotbar. These charge points can be restored through a few methods. 1 is by leveling up, which grants 100 points. 2, which is by completing a dungeon that grants 7 points. 3, you passively regain a point every few minutes. And lastly, 4, you regain 20 points per floor cleared in Abyssal Arena, which we'll talk about later. Lastly, let's look at how to best acquire skill points for your transformation. Transformations gain experience through use as well as monster and boss kills while transformed. Knowing this, combined with knowing that you will get 100 points towards a transformation charge when you level up, means that you should be spamming your transformation from the moment you get it to the moment you hit level 90. Don't worry about spending your transformation skill points yet. For now, focus on transforming as many times as you can up till level 90 and rack up as many skill points as you can. Once you hit level 90 and unlock your second stage, focus on getting Passion 1 to max, then Fatigue to rank C at least. After that, focus on getting second stage's Passion 2 to max. Once you have that done, go back and max Fatigue, then slowly work on maxing the rest in your preferred order. Every day when you log in, you'll receive a warm welcome ticket in your mailbox. Be sure to collect it and visit the mysterious traveler at the inn. Don't worry about buying the gold boxes yet, but instead just buy the warm welcome box. It contains a 50 AP capsule and a kitty encouragement potion which grants a substantial stat boost when used for a single dungeon run. However, these potions will expire 24 hours after the warm welcome box is opened. With that in mind, leave your warm welcome boxes unopened until you're ready to tackle level 100 content so you can have a stockpile of kitty pots to fall back on for stat boosts. You should be wrapping up Season 2 around level 85, but don't proceed to Season 3 just yet. You can make things way easier on yourself by getting the level 90 rewards first. The level 90 reward box gives you a full set of armor, weapons, and accessories, plus a skill reset capsule. The best way to grind out these last few levels is to spam some of the Season 2 fights. Before doing so, visit Ernmus at the Colhan Inn and access the AP shop. Purchase the 2-day VIP service, open it, and then use the capsule. With this, you get 1 extra departure into limited battles, 50% more combat experience, and an extra drop in fights. Do the following battles 6 times each, or until you hit level 90, whichever comes first. Ruler's Refuge, Death's Shadow, Memory of the Past, Desolate Melina, Burning Temple, and God of Death. If for some reason you're still not level 90 yet, do Devil in the Water and Into the Abyss as well. With the free gear in hand, go ahead and equip it. It is enhanceable beyond the plus 12 that it comes at, but don't worry about doing that for now. During your time leveling or grinding in Season 2, you may pick up a lot of enchant scrolls that you don't know what to do with. A good number of them can be thrown away, but there's a select few that can be sold off for some gold. These are Adamant, Valor, Leopards, Significant, Well-Balanced, Enthusiastic, Sparkling, and Passion. There is a special exception for Passion though. If you manage to pick one up, keep it, as we're going to use it in a later tip. If you end up with more than one, sell the extras. Try to pick up a Warlord scroll as well for later use. Everything else you can toss. With the level 90 set in hand, it's time to make sure you have your AP points properly invested, as some skills greatly impact play and can influence your damage and stats. Try to make sure you have the following skills set to the stated ranks at least. If not, utilize unspent AP you may have to fix your skills. If you do not have enough unspent AP, now's a good time to break out that free AP reset capsule. It'll revert all of your skills back to rank F and refund you the AP, allowing you to completely reallocate it. Try to allocate the following skills first. Armor and your respective weapon mastery to at least rank 8 so you can equip your free gear. Critical hit to max, as this is one of the most important stats. Battle Respiration to rank A to help with stamina restoration. Standing Endurance to rank 9, as this unlocks the ability to quickly roll back up onto your feet after being knocked down. Smash Mastery to max, as smashes are your main source of damage. Combat Mastery to rank A to boost the damage output of your normal attacks. Strength or Intelligence Mastery to rank A depending upon your character. Willpower Mastery to at least rank A, as this further increases your critical hit rate plus resistance to being knocked down. Agility Mastery to rank A to increase your defense and boost your stamina restoration further. HP Potion Proficiency to at least rank 8 so that potions will heal you for about 50% more. Life Flare to max so that you can have a 35% chance to resist death from fatal blows. Stamina Mastery to at least rank A, which should let you break the 200 max stamina barrier. And lastly, your character's dodge skill to max, as doing so increases the time that you're invincible during your dodge. After this, feel free to dump your remaining AP into your combat skills. It may seem like prioritizing these general skills over your attacks makes you weaker and do less damage, but it's quite the opposite. Making sure you have these general skills taken care of will make you more resilient in combat, increasing your fighting potential and survivability, which you're going to need in raids. If you open your character window, you may notice two stats at the top labeled Power and Tech, or Technique. The Power stat is a combination of your attack and defense, and Technique is a combination of your critical stat and balance. Attack, defense, and critical is rather self-explanatory, but balance is oftentimes a misunderstood stat. Many new players associate it with being knocked down, which is not the case. Balance comes from your weapon mainly, and is responsible for the RNG rolls in your damage. Whatever your balance stat is can be considered the minimum damage roll you can get. The higher the balance, the more consistent your damage. The lower, the more inconsistent. An example would be that if you have 75 balance, then every time you strike an enemy, you will do between 75 and 100% of your maximum damage potential. Balance caps at 90 and cannot be raised further, so when you're at cap, you'll always be doing between 90% and 100% of your maximum damage potential, i.e. consistent damage. Before you decide to go gung-ho running into Season 3, there's two small things you can do to your gear to net you some extra power. Firstly, pick up an Erg Core Brooch. Enchant it with Warlords and Passion, as this will give you an extra 642 power. Next up, let's look at your bracelets. You should have gotten some gift bracelets at level 85 with a faded gem box containing low-grade gems. One of your bracelets has the Ruby Emerald slot configuration, while the other has the Sapphire Diamond slots. We're going to replace the Sapphire Diamond gift bracelet. Go and buy a copper bracelet with the ruby emerald configuration, along with 2 fine emeralds and 2 fine rubies. Slot one of each into your newly bought bracelet and overwrite the low-grade gems in your ruby emerald gift bracelet. Doing this should net you around an extra 800 power. Now that you're ready to begin your journey in Season 3's content, be aware that the difficulty is going to raise dramatically compared to Season 2. There is also a new type of mechanic here called red attacks that will deal a set amount of damage regardless of your defense stat. Do know that a boss will always flash red before initiating them. These attacks cannot be blocked by blocking skills, nor be dodged into with your dodge skills and vulnerability frames. The only way to avoid these attacks is to literally get out of the way, or cheese through them with certain SP skills that give true invincibility, like Lan's Furious 7, Vela's SP Gale Cutter, or your transformation skill cutscene. Once your character hits level 52, you'll unlock your holding skill. These moves cost 1000 SP and will force a boss into a down state for the duration of the attack. These moves don't do overly impressive amounts of damage, but are rather used to give your party members an opportunity to safely do DPS. The move's ability to knock down a boss also gives you the ability to forcibly cancel a boss's current attack. This isn't 100% reliable though, as bosses have certain moves and animations that they cannot be knocked out of. Using your holding skill during these times will cause the move to fail, wasting your SP. Also, you cannot land your holding skill if the boss is already being held by another player. If another player currently has the boss locked, wait until theirs is done and the boss tries to stand back up before using yours. Multiple players chaining their holding skills in succession is very useful and preferred in some parties, as it allows players to bypass certain boss phases and allow huge DPS opportunities. If you wish, you can continue to grind Season 2 fights to make it to level 95 or even 100, but the experience curve starts to go up greatly past 95. However, doing this really isn't worth it. It's recommended that you should just continue pushing your main quest line in Season 3, designated by blue quest icons. Doing so should level you at a decent pace, as well as naturally introduce you to raids, which is where the real game is. That pretty much sums up 10 more tips for new Vindictus players. I intentionally kept raiding and guild information out, as these topics can fill a whole video on their own. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed and possibly learned something, and I'll see you in the next one where I go over 10 tips for raiding.